What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Petty Parade, and we're back again. So before we get into today's topic, I want to go ahead and just hit on some channel stuff real quick. So last 4 or 5 videos, we've been getting a little bit more traction, hitting almost 100 views in just 24 hours with about each one. So huge, let me take my glasses off. Huge thank you to everyone that's been coming and checking out my videos. All you guys from Reddit that have been supporting me, leaving comments either on my Reddit post or coming in my comments here, or just not doing any of that and just giving me a view. Thank you. Like, the most sincere that I can. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm absolutely loving doing this. And we're in the baby stages. We're about a week and a half into taking this seriously. So it's going to be a bit of a bumpy road for a little while, and I appreciate everyone that sticks it out with me while we get the channel up running and figure out how to walk. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get away from all of that boring stuff. And I want to cover something today that is a huge topic, probably one of the ones that gets brought up the most on either Reddit or in Twitch streams. I spend a lot of time hanging out with the guys in Twitch, and this question is constantly asked. So I wanted to kind of give you guys something that'll hopefully make this process a little bit easier and give you a bit of an idea of how you can answer this question yourself. And it's who to 6-star next. Big topic, because the answer is going to be different for everyone. We're all at different parts of the game. We all have different champion boxes, and we all have different gear. You need to be realistic and say, like, oh, I have nothing good I can put on this man's. Let me not build him right now. It's okay to wait. But really, it's the biggest question that we are constantly asking ourselves in a game like this is who needs to be my next priority? So a couple of things that you want to think about for your account when you're asking yourself this question: where am I? Do you have a farmer yet? Is your farmer 6-star? This should always be your first priority because everything else becomes easier once you have this in place. So if you're a brand new player, you absolutely need to 6-star your farmer. Any of the starter champions that they give you will work. Kale is probably the best. So I highly recommend picking him if you didn't. But no brainer, your first 6-star should always be your farmer. If you're a very new player, who do you do after your farmer? This can be a tough question. It depends on, did you happen to pull a carry? Did you get a legendary that's absolutely top tier? If you did, probably want to 6-star him and let him carry you into the mid game. But for everybody else, it's probably going to be a support. Not always. This isn't me saying you should always make a support your next 6-star. But if you're using someone across all of your dungeon teams, whether they're healing, providing speed boost, looking at you apothecary, whoever's holding up your team the most should probably be on that priority list. All right, so just to get away from brand new players for a minute, if you already have 4 or 5 6-stars, it can still be a very tough question on who you want to build next. So essentially one of my top recommendations is to look at your missions. Are you stuck on a timetable? Are you waiting for a dungeon to open up so that you can get the right essences to move on to the next quest? If you are, I still highly recommend you open up your missions and take a look down the road. What are some of the ones that are about to come up? If you have an immediate plan for getting through your first 4, good. You want to be focusing on your missions. I blew past my missions and then had to spend a lot of resources to go back and get all of this done. And you get a very valuable champion arbiter from completing all of them. And it can take anywhere between 2 to 6 months to do all of your missions. So use your missions as a guideline for where you should be. If you see that you have spiders or Fire King coming up and you don't really have anyone for that, it's time to look at your box and figure out if there's someone that you should start building in your near future. Sometimes these champions are going to be so situational that it's not worth it. If you are trying to just get over a certain essence type in a dungeon, like Force, for instance, is very difficult, I do not recommend 6-starring a Spirit champion to help push you over that edge. You don't want to 6-star someone who's just going to do one thing for you. So use your missions as kind of a guiding buffer for what you need to be working on, or what your future goals should be, your near future, not your future, not long far away, like what you're going to need to be worrying about in the next week or so. So just something to keep in mind there. Personally, let's go ahead and take a look at my box real quick. So I have a few champions that I wish I didn't build. Her. Don't need her right now. She'll be great here down the road, but not someone that was amazing for me. And him. Kind of wastes. I didn't need to do that right now. In terms of who should I be looking for to 6-star next, I'm getting to the later stages in dungeons. I'm around 15 to 17 for most of the dungeons. Clan boss I haven't had a big focus on. I'm getting to the point to where that's soon going to become a priority. So I have a couple of poisoners here that I'm heavily considering for my next 6-star. And your boy down here, honestly, probably going to be a cult brawler. We just pulled him. Otherwise, he would have been a level 60 already. So you want to evaluate your account off of that. If you don't know what champions are good for what, and you know that you need spider people for spider, use your friend Google. Google can tell you what good monsters there are for spiders, what good cheese monsters there are. There's some 2-stars that you can build that'll help a little bit with that if you've pulled absolutely nothing. But there's a lot of really great sites. Yumi Love has some really great general information. That info is not going to work best in every situation and should not be treated as, the absolute gospel. But it's a good enough quick reference that you can look at, they have lists for champions that are great for spider and everything like that. We'll, hopefully get to the point to where we're doing dungeon guides here in the near future. But for right now, use resources like that to give you an idea of if there's a champion that you've overlooked that might be good for one of those dungeons. So really, the first step in finding out what you need to 6-star is knowing where you are. And once you kind of have that and use your missions as a little bit of a guiding force, you can pretty easily figure out who you want to go from there. Another helpful thing, in my opinion, is going through, say you've got a top 3. Say I wanted to build Haikatoon, Occult Brawler, or Painkeeper. Alright, so one thing that I could go through and do is try and figure out which dungeons I could realistically use all of those. Give each of them a little tick mark for, if they can be used in spiders, Literally write it out on paper if you want to. I'm the kind of person that enjoys doing stuff like that, so I'll get a little notepad out, put in my little check boxes saying, okay, they'll work here, they'll work here, they're not going to be great here, I don't see me using them here, or I don't have the support runes that you need, say like Bellower on Stun Set. I know I don't have that, and I'm not going to have that anytime soon, so there's certain things that my Bellower is not going to be great for. You want to go through and see who's going to be more useful in more places. This is better for earlier game players. Mid to late game players should be having a diverse monster box, and this shouldn't be as hard of a question for them. But for early game players, you definitely want to make sure you're investing in monsters that are going to see a lot of action across the board. Like we touched on earlier, don't build a champion for just one thing. We want to stay away from doing that. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit of an idea on how to evaluate yourself a little bit. I always highly recommend, if you're completely lost, completely in the dark, make a post on Reddit. Reach out to people that are, on Twitch and everything. A lot of those guys are really great and have a lot of valuable information that they'll pretty willingly share, with you, as long as they're not in the middle of something. Don't keep spamming them for that when they're in the middle of doing account reviews or something like that. Just a little bit of a tip to help you get a little bit more help down the line. And as always, if you guys want to leave a comment or anything like that, reach out to me with any questions you have or any account advice you're looking for, feel free to leave a comment, find one of my posts on Reddit, do whatever you want to do. I have a Twitter. You can reach out to me on Twitter if you want to. So hopefully that's a quick overview to help people that are struggling with that question right now. If you don't know champions at all, probably not going to be the greatest advice for you, and you're going to have to do more research on the individual champions you have, or just post some screenshots and ask for help. Alright guys, this has been Petty Parade. I appreciate y'all checking in, and I will catch you later. Deuces.